Finally, today we are talking about Paris. Coucou, my name is Anastasia and welcome to my YouTube channel. So today we are doing the third and the final part of the Fashion Month BLITZ review. The first one where I talked about both New York as well as London Fashion Weeks, and the second part where we covered the Milan Fashion Week will be linked in the description below. But today we are talking about Paris. Let's get right into it. So the first show of the Paris Fashion Week that got my attention was Mama Kuragotchi. Clean lines, simple designs and details you just cannot help but be drawn to. That, in the end of the day, what makes the difference between the good fashion and, the fashion that can be a little bit boring. We are moving on to the Peter Du, yet another minimalistic child of the industry. So it is the first season when he changed the urban chunks of New York to far more attended ones of the Paris at that. Rumor has it he needed to put both distance and also some time between his namesake brand and Helmut Lang, where he debuted the season, but who knows. And what do we have here? So, brand's DNA's codes are there. It's minimal, it's deconstructed, it's very neutral. Overall vibe of the collection has grown more preppy, I should say. I honestly don't think it's one of his strongest collections, but once again, it's definitely my opinion because I have definitely heard a total opposite ones. Christian Dior by Maria Grazia Curie. I just cannot talk about it anymore. I'll just say two words. The usual. I don't even read the behind the collection notes anymore because honestly, why bother if the outcomes all look the same no matter what inspired them. Next we have Saint Laurent by Anthony Vaccarello. What can I say? Mr. Vaccarello moved from the smoky bar of Paris and went straight onto a safari trip. Well, a chic safari trip, albeit. In short, it's not my favorite collection, but that is simply because I cannot very much relate to the safari style. However, if I had to do safari, this will be the way. One thing is for sure, next season, instead of hoods, we will be seeing cargo pockets and chic boiler suits on every red carpet. Moving on to the day 2 of Paris and straight to Dries Van Noten, which has undergone a significant miu-miuification, if you ask me. Low-rise skirts with crop tops, clashing prints and color blocking, overall minimalism and tailoring. We've got it all. Truth be told, Van Noten has always been about structured minimalism, so maybe it's just, me watching a show through a prism of the brand of the moment. Or maybe yet again, it's brands acting on and envisioning the same trend flying around the social space. But because one to do generally better than the other, in the sales and marketing department, we associate the visual with them. But we shall move on. And move on we do on Cecil Bunsen. A romantic brand, Victorian-inspired feminine dresses paired with chunky boots at the very heart of its DNA, generally keeps to this vision and continues to present us just that. I'm a fan of the aesthetic, so there will be no complaints for the matter. Also, a little side note, the denim looks were very cute. Acne Studios by Johnny Johansson. From the looks of it, as well as ambassador choices, I would say they're planning to occupy a recently vacated Balenciaga niche of ugly, chic, futuristic designs. A dirt-infused ad was there, right? One of Kardashian Jenners as their ambassador is there. And now, just look at the styling and tell me that I'm wrong. Balmain by Olivier Rostand. Considering it was last minute because a van transporting 50 outfits which were destined for the runway was hijacked, that was done well. The massive roses, the polka dots, some punny-inspired dresses were very much so enjoyable. Maybe because of outfits being stolen, maybe for some other reason. It looks very wannabe retro, but not quite there yet. Rabanne by Julien de Senna. We're dealing with some serious retro futurism as a house coat meets boho. It's giving Dune, but it is also giving Princess Leia from The Return of the Jedi, and also even a little bit of Barbarella. Third day of Paris Fashion Week started with Givenchy by Matthew Williams. Very subtle, very minimal, very office core, but with a twist. Pops of red, sheer skirts, bar silhouette, all the micro trends were in place as well as the macro trends, being one and one thing only. It will sell well. In terms of personal favorites, I would say that coats and sunglasses were the biggest vibe of it all. Lovely color blocking as well, very wearable. I think I'll, use some tips even for now, since the color palette was traditionally very autumnal. The Row by Olsen Twins. If you can count on one contemporary brand not to be swayed by the trends, that would be the Row. Like slouchy minimalism, oversized tailoring, muted color palette with pops of something bright, something red this season, it was all there. Well, they have also brought some sportiness, but there's more sportiness to the collection this time around. Rico Owens, as anti-utopic and apocalyptic in the best way possible as ever. We also came back to a shoulder exploration, but instead of just going up, now they're striking away from the body at like a 45-degree angle. But he also continued his experiments with elongating a lower part of the body. But I feel like he moved from pants, although they still were present, to more of a skirt area. And Barbie core is going strong, well, as strong as it can be in a brand like this. And the final part of collection is yet again giving me distinct June vibes. Something tells me that everyone is getting ready for the second movie. I mean, the method dressing. Schiaparelli by Daniel Roseberry were stunning. The collection is called Ode to Youth, and I agree that it does indeed look far more useful in terms of styles and silhouettes than usual. I mean, Schiaparelli sneakers. Just think about it. But still with the twist, and the twist here is referencing some house codes, meaning Elsa herself, meaning 1930s. And usefulness and 1930s are not, absolutely not easy to combine. So day 4 of Paris started with Layaway by Jonathan Anderson, and once again, you don't understand, those knitwear ponchos? I'm obsessed. From the conceptual side of things, this time it was all about day wear, or to be more exact, how much and how far can one twist a well-recognized mundane item, well, say an Oxford shirt, right, for it to become something else, while simultaneously still being recognized as such Oxford shirt. Generally an interesting thought to dwell on. Easy Miyake by Satoshi Kondo. So the collection is a tribute to one of the Miyake final shows, Spring-Summer 1998, if I remember correctly. As per usual from Kondo, updated with the twist. I would say his garments are far more interested with what they can do with the air around the body, rather than the body itself. It's like they're not interested in modifying human form, but rather space it occupies around with, the movement, the air. You get the point. Nina Ricci by Harris Reed. So his second collection was much calm in terms of very maximalist in nature read, but worry not, huge bows and platform heels were still present, although the latter were far more cuter this time, if you ask me. Honestly, on the second look, the collection is very wearable, but rather boring, especially if you are going through it look by look. Victoria Beckham is yet another designer who has always been on the minimal silver side of things, so this is her moment to shine, and boy shine she did. I love the collection. It's very sophisticated, it's gorgeous tailoring as well as evening wear, plus some really cute knitwear, which was a surprise if I think about it. And those oversized clothes? A very strong contender on e-back of the season. Caperni by Sebastian Meyer and Arnaud Valian. This we shall call tech minimalism. Have you ever watched Winx? If I were doing Winx but make it fashion, this would be the brand for Techno. Also, those vase-shaped dresses in the end? Chef's kiss. I'm still not sold on the idea of capris making a potential comeback though, but I did like a little gimmick with the display in the end being an actual bag. Vivienne Westwood by Andras Kornteller. This was obviously a collection in remembrance of recently passed Vivienne Westwood, but not only as a designer, but as a person with her own sense of style, which eventually changed the whole punk movement, or, at the very least gave it a new form. That manifested in fact that designs are based not on her brand heritage per se, but rather her personal wardrobe. And well, yes, she wore her own designs quite a lot, but that's beside the point. Hence it looks a little bit discombobulated, but then again, it's not really supposed to be in an homage at all. It will be selling well enough as it is. Hermes by Nadège Banet. Well, guys really went all out on red. Like, otherwise it's your usual steel wells and intricate leatherwork. And the Millimeter by Stefano Gallici. Gallici was promoted within the brand from the menswear designer to the creative designer position, so I mean, although he has spent like the past 3 years working in the brand, thus having enough time to group all the house codes, which I believe was one of the main issues with Ludovico de Sansonine. This is his first take on it. Like, first and foremost, it is safe, like very safe, and very in the realm of brand's DNA. I like to call it apocalyptic minimal Berlin. But yet again, that is to be expected after the last season of Ludovico de Sansonine. If he keeps the position, maybe we will eventually see something more eye-catching. But for now, it's nothing really special. Not that this year's wanted, apparently, judging by the previous season yet again. Alexander McQueen by Sarah Burton, and her last collection, creative director of the brand. It is honestly a beautiful summary of everything we see and came to love from her, including leather corsets, impeccable tailoring, you know, the whole princess warrior but naked fashion situation. I personally think that she herself both described the collection and also kind of finalized her work at McQueen in these 2 quotes. So the first one went as, "This collection is inspired by female anatomy, Queen Elizabeth I, the Blood Red Rose, and Magdalena Abacanovich, a transgressive and powerful artist who refused ever to compromise with vision." And the second quote goes as, "The show is dedicated to Lee Alexander McQueen, whose wish was always to empower women, and to the passion, talent, and loyalty of my team." Valentino by Pier Paolo Piccioli. So the fabric cutout origami-like garments were cute, and of course Valentino Red made an appearance. We finally made it out of the PP pink. Please and thank you. Next we have Balenciaga by Demna. Still playing it safe with the usuals of both Demna. I mean, playing oversized, tailoring, and sport chic, as well as Balenciaga, flowers, draping, etc. Mix of house codes. Is that okay? Yes. But that won't exactly let them out of the slump they're currently experiencing. Maybe, and also probably, they're aiming for the whole safe garments worn by celebrities redemption strategy. Like, new oversized sneakers is a big no for me, please and thank you. In a time when everyone is going for the minimalist appeal, the one and only case where they would be able to get any success is through the sheer name power of either brand or the designer behind the brand, which is, you know, clearly not the case here. The bag in the form of pump, though, have the potential of becoming a new J.W. Anderson pigeon touch. Louis Vuitton by Nicolas Ghesquière. Is it me? All the success of Pharrell and LVMH has, you know, made Monsieur Ghesquière put out, dare I say, a more commercial ready-to-wear. I love this layered skirt, as well as the skirt suits of, you know, a pleated miniskirt with a very oversized kind of smoking jacket inspired top, and also like the statement buttons running through the whole collection were above. Mugler by Cassie Cadwalker. Oh my god, now Mugler has been trying to bring like this show element back to the brand for quite some time, but this season they just hit the bullseye with those fans and like flying trance and stuff. Honestly, to stand out during the Paris Fashion Week is a rather difficult task, and yet they have managed with an A grade. And don't even let me start on those fairy mermaidy archival inspired dresses. Like, if someone won't wear them to the red carpet the next season, it might as well be the end of the world. Chanel by Virginie Viard. Now, shockingly, this went well enough. I mean, first of all, it really felt like a spring-summer collection rather than just trying to put, you know, tweed hot pants out there and call it a day. Second of all, they have either hired a new runway styling team, or it's a whole minimalism trend taking their toll on the brand, leading to a far better styled looks than what we've seen from Chanel in honestly God knows how long. And thirdly, if Coco Chanel herself is to be recited and referenced, I for once prefer it to be her 1930s period, which is exactly what was done here and is very much so appreciated. And the last but not the least, some of the items are so cute. Like, can we talk about the bathing suits made into the quilt impression of the bags? Or like those little white marriages? adorable. And the last show of the Paris Fashion Week coming in hot, Miu Miu by Miucci Prada. I would say that the usual preppy vibe had a slight shift toward this sporty side of things, but honestly, it was kind of disappointing. It felt unnecessarily long and also repetitive. I don't know. Definitely not my favorite from Miu Miu. Remember that thing I told you about Jacquemus Chou Chou silhouette becoming a new thing? It is happening. It is already happening. With that being said, I'm happy to announce that we have covered the entirety of the fashion month and this three-part almost series of the videos. If you have enjoyed it, you can subscribe to this channel or something. Also like this video, check out my other social media, and other than that, I'll see you in the next one, which will not be me talking about fashion month. We'll probably have to do something with styling. But I don't know, you will just have to subscribe and see for yourself. So, bye!